We are Team Okanagan Sun Football with Ryan Waters.
The Okanagan Sun opened up main training camp over the weekend to much excitement of the players and the new coaching staff. The Sun have high hopes coming into the 2009 season with 50 returning players, including most offensive and defensive stars. The Sun are well aware that the winner of the BCFC this season will host the 2009 Canadian Bowl. General Manager Derek Melanchuk says the offseason was a busy one.
It was a lot of work this offseason. We had some holes we wanted to fill, plus with this being Pete's first year as the head coach, we had a little bit of a learning curve there, and I wouldn't really, it was an exciting off season. We had a lot of guys coming out on a weekly basis, 2 days a week, working out hard with the football team, and training camp can never come quick enough, but this season was a lot of work.
You mentioned Pete McCall is the new head coach, his first training camp. Is he more of a hands-on coach, do you think, especially in the off season?
Definitely. Pete is here every single day. He missed one practice due to a function. Other than that, he's the first guy here and he's the last guy to leave, and he really inspires these kids to be the best they can. And Pete he's definitely what we're looking for. He's here all the time.
You mentioned some holes needed to be filled in the off season. Did you address those needs in the off season and here in training camp?
Yeah, we did. There's still some stuff we'd like to top up a little better, but right now we're a solid-looking football team, and we spent our time in the off season looking for the spots we knew would be a little weaker this year. And even though we found some guys, we've got guys that were here last year that have just worked out real hard through the off season, and they've come back.
Some outstanding results in the testing session on Friday night. Were you surprised that the scores were so good?
Honestly, and it's not meant to be an arrogant statement, but no. The amount of work that these kids put in with Pete, with Brant, training, working out, running, the practices we had, we look better right now from a training standpoint than we did at the end of last season.
Do you think there's a little bit more incentive maybe in the back of guys' minds that they know the Canadian Bowl will be in British Columbia this year?
Absolutely, and that goes throughout the whole organization. But these guys, they would love to be playing in front of 10,000 fans in their home stadium for a Canadian championship. There's no better way to win, right? And I think you combine that with the way our season ended last year, and these kids definitely have a lot of incentive.
This training camp is especially exciting for the new head coach of the Okanagan Sun, Pete McCall, who has an interesting outlook on finally starting camp.
Yes, we've been waiting for this for a long time. I've said before, it was kind of like a pregnancy. We were ready to go months ago, but the baby wasn't ready to come yet. So yeah, we're ready.
Looking at the team offensively, you have a new offensive coordinator in Tony Lindsay. Do you have to add much to the playbook with so many returnees?
We didn't. We actually scaled it down. Part of our philosophy on offense is to, quality over quantity, and to do a few things well instead of doing a bunch of things, average. So we've actually scaled things down, and in our weeks, leading into here, we've been working those fundamentals, working that playbook, that reduced playbook. And so if anything, I think we've got less than we did last year, but we're doing it much better.
What kind of team is this going to be coming into the 09 season?
That's a great question. All indications, these kids are motivated, they're excited, they've bought into my philosophy. I'm a disciplinarian, I'm a perfectionist, and I sweat the small stuff. It adds up, it shows up. So, they're doing the push-ups when they got to do the push-ups. We're making little mistakes, and they're drinking the Kool-Aid, so it's looking good, yeah.
You're also a very good motivator. How do you motivate a bunch of 18 to 22-year-old guys to follow suit and play football?
Well, I think the saying is people learn from what you do, not what you say, and so I'm a pretty excited guy, and I'm passionate about this sport, and I think it's infectious. I think guys see when you got your heart in it, when you love something, you can't help but emulate that or reflect that, and our guys are doing that. They're a very motivated bunch. It's very exciting.
How many spots are open on this team with so many returnees?
That's another good question. We had about 60 coming back, and I think there's 70 lockers upstairs, so there's about 10 spots. 10 spots or so, yeah.
For last season's MVP Derek Mann, training camp marks the start of getting back on the field, but not necessarily getting back to work for the first time after all the off-season training.
Oh yeah, it's good to be back. We've actually been at it since January, so it wasn't like we had a big break at all. So we've been doing this for 6 months now, and it looks pretty good for our first day of camp. I haven't seen a first day like this in all my 4 years here, so everyone's in sync and it's looking good.
What were you doing specifically in the off season?
Just working hard. I was working out with Matt Shearwater, Mike Fedniak, my roommates, and they were getting me in the weight room finally. After my first couple of years, I was tall and skinny. I didn't really have any muscle on me, but now they had me doing some plyometrics and some speed training, and it really showed in testing.
You say that it's kind of a different feel here in this training camp for 09. Is it because maybe you have a new offensive coordinator, new head coach?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a different mentality. Pete's a defensive coach more than Jay. Jay was an offensive coach, and Pete's got everyone fired up. Good pace in practice. Everyone's flying through drills. Everyone wants to be out there and play, and it's good. Everyone's buying into the system.
You had a great year offensively last year. What do you do for an encore?
Less interceptions.
One more question. The Canadian Bowl is in British Columbia this year. Is that in the back of your mind? A little extra incentive for this entire team?
Absolutely. We've been working hard. Last time it was in BC, it was my first year here, and we were really trying hard. We loaded up. We brought in a lot of talent from out of town, but this year we're sticking with the guys that have been together for 3 and 4 years now, and everyone's looking good. Everyone wants it here in the Apple Bowl. Just a packed house, and Pete's really getting through to us that it's probably going to be realistic for us to do it this year.
Each and every player shares man's enthusiasm, and Dalen Pommier sums up what every player is looking forward to most in the 2009 season.
A national championship at home on November 15th.
The Okanagan Sun will begin their journey on Saturday, August 1st as they open up the regular season in Victoria.
Canton Towers on 3! 1, 2, 3, Canton Towers!
Until next time, I'm Ryan Waters.